Rockler Interlock Signmaker's template kit comes with 99 templates, along with a surprisingly high-quality, specially designed brass guide collar. A lot of companies would have used the steel guide collar because that's cheaper. The templates are made from heavy-gauge plastic, they're all clearly marked, and they're designed to snap together so you always get the alignment right. The guide collar fits the popular Porter cable-style stepped base plate. You do have to buy the router bit, so I'm using a 5/8 Signmaker's carbide router bit from Rockler for this demonstration. To make setting up the various letters and spacers easier, Rockler has something called a Signmaker's Wizard on their website that's free to use. Type in the words that you want on your sign, and the Signmaker's Wizard gives you a full printout on all of the spacers and the sequence that they're used in to get all the letters right. This is a really nice service on Rockler's part, and if you don't get the layout right the first time around, you just ain't paying attention. Using the Signmaking Wizard's printout, I was able to get all the letters I needed and snap together for the first pass in just a few minutes. With that assembly upside down on a bench, I could apply a couple of strips of double-sided tape. You can also use a wide masking tape and tape the letters down from the front side also. Then I made sure that the tape was stuck down real well and then pulled off the protective paper. You want to take your time with this part of it because these templates work so well you don't want to mess it up just because you taped it up wrong. I used a simple reference mark to line the template system so I knew it was in the right place before I stuck it down onto the board. The fit between the individual templates is very good, so you don't have to worry about them falling apart while you're positioning the assembly. Then we just set the guide collar into the template, plunge the motor down, and make our first pass. And as you probably suspect, we're going to trap a good bit of the wood in the groove that we're routing. I tried installing the dust collection shield on this router, and that helped a little bit, but I still needed to clean the groove out, and now I couldn't see as well. I tried brushing the dust out, digging it out with my fingers, blowing it out with my breath. All of that works to some extent, but the best way is still just to get the dust collector hose out and suck all the dust out after you make the first pass. The Signmaker's Wizard sheet shows us that we need to change the A1 to the A2 to complete this letter. I found that a clean putty knife was the best thing for prying the letters up to get them off of the double stick tape. Then we can go ahead and stick the next template into place. When you have a second template like this to finish a letter, it snaps into place right where the first one was. There's no adjustments necessary. Then I moved on to template assembly, installing the secondary templates that the Signmaker Wizard said I needed for the second pass. That printout really does make this easy and foolproof. Then we can go back and route out those templates that we just changed to complete pass 2. The number of passes you have to make depends on the combinations of letters, but the Signmaking Wizard figures that all out for you and prints it out so you can't make a mistake unless you just don't follow it. Because of the letter combination, the Wizard printout tells me I have to remove the A2 template, replace it with the kerning spacer, and then I can place the letter template where the kerning spacer was. I want to stress that that Wizard template tells you exactly what goes where and when, so all you have to do is follow along. Then I can install the number 1 template for the letter P. Then after routing out the material from the P1 template, I can replace that with the P2 template and finish the letter out. Most of the time it takes longer to describe the process here than it does to actually do it. Just follow the simple instructions and that Signmaking Wizard's printout, and you get a nice looking sign with all the letters spaced properly. Of course, you have to make sure that you're telling the Signmaking Wizard the right spelling for the words, because it doesn't care about that. And when it comes time to finish your sign, you can do that pretty much any way you want to. One popular method is to paint the letters with a contrasting color before applying finish to the rest of the sign. Then after the paint dries, you can sand the face of the sign to clean up the edges where you went over a little bit. So if you pay attention and follow the instructions, the Rockler Interlock Signmaker's template kit will let you make pretty much any kind of sign you want, and it'll look right. This kit takes care of all the tough thinking and lets you just be creative.